They say some snakes are big enough, strong enough, deadly enough to bring down an elephant. Sounds insane, right? But what if it wasn't just a story? What if deep inside the jungles, somewhere in the shadows, something truly monstrous still slithered, unseen, unknown, waiting? Tonight, we're going to uncover one of the oldest, most terrifying myths on Earth. Do snakes really have the power to kill an elephant? Or is it just another lie nature never told? Stay close, don't blink, because what you're about to hear might change how you look at snakes forever. 1. The ancient fear. The world has always been afraid of snakes, not just because they bite, but because they move in silence. They strike without warning. They look ancient, cold, calculating. Somewhere deep inside human memory, the fear has roots. Every jungle traveler, every ancient hunter, someone always had a story of a serpent so large that it could kill anything, even an elephant. The idea sounds wild, unbelievable, yet the myth refuses to die. You hear it in villages, in books, whispered by old men near the fire. There was a snake, they say, so big even an elephant couldn't escape. Maybe it's true, maybe not, but let's look closer. 2. Size does matter, and so does strength. An elephant is no small creature. You stand next to one and it's like a moving mountain. Thick legs, heavy tusks, a single step shakes the ground. Now imagine a snake wrapping around that. The largest snake on Earth, the reticulated python, grows about 30 feet. Some claim 33, maybe a few more in rare cases. But even then, its body weight doesn't cross 350 pounds. The difference is massive. You could line up 20 of them, and they still wouldn't match an adult elephant's weight. Sure, a python can crush a pig, a deer, maybe even a crocodile. But an elephant? That's not strength anymore. That's fantasy.
3. Tales born in firelight. Every culture has its monsters. In India, the great serpent Vasuki coils around mountains. In Africa, people whisper about elephant snakes that live deep in swamps, feeding on shadows. Long ago, travelers saw huge snakes moving through tall grass and swore they were longer than rivers. Then, stories traveled faster than truth. It swallowed a buffalo! No, it swallowed an elephant! And just like that, myths were born. Maybe they saw a python feeding on a dead calf. Maybe the carcass of an elephant nearby made it look like the snake had killed it. Over time, people added color, drama, fear, and myths grew bigger than the creatures themselves.
4. The nature of the hunter. Snakes are patient killers. They don't chase, they wait, silent, hidden. They strike only when the odds are perfect. A sudden movement, a bite, a rap, and the world goes still. But even their patience has limits. Pythons and anacondas hunt what they can swallow, not what they can dream of. They judge their prey by width, not by height or fame. So yes, they can handle pigs, monkeys, dogs, and even humans. But an elephant's neck? Too thick. The skull? Too wide. The skin? Too tough. The lungs of the snake would burst before the elephant even noticed. Nature has rules, even for monsters. 5. The rare and the real. Now, there are some real stories, documented ones. A few years ago, in Indonesia, a python swallowed a woman whole. In the Amazon, anacondas have dragged deer and caimans underwater. Sometimes you see photos that don't look real, a snake with a massive bulge, motionless after a feast. That's their limit. These are animals at the edge of possibility.
Beyond that edge lies myth. And elephants live on the other side of that line. No photo, no study, no witness has ever confirmed a snake taking down an elephant. And that's saying something, because humans love exaggerating danger. Yet even the best storytellers couldn't find proof.
6. The venomous argument. People sometimes change the question. They say, okay, fine, but could a venomous snake kill one? Possibly, under perfect, rare, laboratory-like conditions. Some venomous snakes, the king cobra, the inland taipan, even the black mamba, have toxins powerful enough to kill a massive creature. But not easily. The dose matters. The spot matters. The snake would have to bite a vulnerable area, like inside the trunk or near the eyes. It would need to stay long enough for the venom to work. But elephants don't stand still. One angry swing of the trunk and the snake's body would break like a twig. So yes, maybe venom could kill, but hunting? Never.
7. When science met the stories. Scientists have always chased these legends. They measure bones, they check records, they film feeding behavior. The results are clear and cold. No snake today can crush or eat something as large as an elephant. The physics simply don't work. Even if the snake could wrap around it, the muscles would give out. The oxygen would run out. The skin of the elephant would resist the squeeze. And swallowing? Impossible. The jaw would rip. The body would collapse. Nature didn't design snakes for that kind of battle. They are hunters of precision, not brute force. Silent assassins, not destroyers of giants.
8. Misunderstandings and jungle lies. Many myths come from misunderstanding. A hunter sees an elephant carcass, a huge python nearby. The story writes itself, it killed it. But maybe the elephant just died from thirst or sickness or gunfire. The snake was curious. Maybe it wanted to feed, but couldn't. But the human mind doesn't like small stories. It prefers big ones, dangerous ones. So rumors spread. People start believing. Each telling adds something new. The snake grows larger. The elephant becomes more helpless, until myth feels more real than memory. That's how jungle stories live forever.
9. The human obsession with monsters. Why do we love these impossible tales? Maybe because they remind us that the world is still wild, that there are things bigger than us, older than science. The idea of a snake killing an elephant? It's more than a story. It's a symbol, a whisper from an ancient time when we didn't have answers. We imagined creatures that defied logic. We gave them names. We feared them. And somewhere deep down, we still want them to be real. Because without them, the world feels smaller, quieter, less magical. So we keep the myth alive, even when we know the truth.
10. Truth wrapped in wonder. Let's face it, a snake can't kill an elephant. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. The math doesn't fit. The biology says no. But the myth, oh, the myth, it still lives. Because it's not really about snakes or elephants. It's about power, fear, mystery. It's about the human need to believe that something out there can still surprise us. And maybe that's why the story never dies. Because every time someone walks into the jungle and the leaves rustle and something moves beneath the water, the old stories come back. And for a moment, just a moment, we believe again.
So now you know. The myth of the elephant-killing snake, a story made of whispers, fear, and wonder. Science says it's impossible, but the jungle doesn't always follow science. It hides things we still don't understand. Maybe the story is dead, or maybe somewhere in the dark it's still alive, waiting to be found. If you enjoyed this dive into the world of deadly legends, hit that like button, subscribe to Venomous World, and turn on the bell, because more untold mysteries are crawling your way soon. Until next time, stay curious, stay cautious, and never turn your back on what slithers in the dark.